Hello everyone, welcome to the channel today. So today we're doing a reading in regards to situation or connection, like relationship, that you can bring some kind of closure, peace, calm, serenity to. So pick some piles. Okay. This one. All right, let's have a look at the piles today. All right, so for pile number 1, you have a blue calcite with the messages of soothing inner peace, universal perspective, and strong memory. For pile number 2, you have tiger's eye, luck in new venture, willpower, creative flow, and overcoming fear. For pile number 3, you have water, emotional intuition, psychic powers, and healing. And for pile number 4, you have Moonstone with female fertility, calming emotions, attracting new love, and growth. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll give you some time to think over which piles are calling to you, and you can jump straight to your reading. Down below there'll be timestamps, so you can jump straight through. Otherwise, I'll get into the shuffling process next, and I'll leave you to decide which piles call to you. Hello everyone, welcome to the shuffling process. So very interesting considering last reading, water and blue calcite came out. So it's coming out again with the lovely Moonstone and tiger's eye. So I like the range this time. I mean, it was a good range last time, right? I mean, it's whatever calls to you, whatever the words speak to you as well with these cards. That's why I use them a lot with Pickacard readings, collective readings. Okay, so we've also got Archangel Ariel here today, who's going to assist. So she has picked the cards, or I've got assistance with her picking cards, and same with the theme today. So it's bringing harmony to a connection, relationship, situation, whatever it is, it's about bringing peace into your life. Okay, so we've got two. I'm going to take this one. I'm just putting them up a bit because they're smaller cards, and when I try to grab them, they flip out. So this time I've made a plan to put them up here so I can pick them and pop them on the pile easier. Okay, so can we kindly get Ariel, you to pick the cards for each pile? Okay. Now these ones can be read reversed. I'm going to see how they come out and how it speaks to the pile, because they generally have the same meaning. Just sometimes can be speaking from a different angle. Yeah, this one. Okay, so can we get a message for collective? Each pile how can they bring peace or calm to a situation? Okay, you want these ones, right? Okay, I don't know if there's going to be space, but these two are going with that one. I'm actually using an extra card, an extra deck today, so I don't know if they'll all fit, but we'll make it work. You'll be able to see them at some point during the reading. And I'm using a webcam, so I think the cameras can be a little bit blurry. Fine. Alright, so each bar, well, how can they bring peace and calm to a situation? Okay, I'm just going to use one card from here, I believe. It's interesting. Right, so one card for each bow. Bring calm to a situation. All right. Let's move this around. Okay, so that concludes the shuffling process. So thank you for being here, sharing your energy with this reading today. So as I said before in the introduction, is you can find your reading down below with the timestamp, so you can just drag the cursor across, or the little thing, I don't know what it's called, the jiggy jig, and you'll be able to go straight to your reading. So anyway, thank you for being here, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number one. So today you have chosen the blue calcite with soothing, inner peace, universal perspective, and strong memory. All right, let's see how this comes into your reading today. I'm going to have to make some space. I might have to move you down. Okay, let's start with your tarot. Your oracle. So you have rejuvenation with aquasulas. I cherish the time I devote to myself. Okay. Okay. You also have the trust card. You do have the Rebel card. Now, it was in reverse. I'm going to see how the read progresses, and I'll have a look if it needs to be checked in the reverse position. Okay. You also have the Seraphim Gateway with the message, voice activation, angelic attunement, divine support. Okay, nice. You also have the achievement card. Now this did come out reverse, and I feel like it's going to talk to that, but it's also talking to it in the upright position as well, completion and reward. Okay. So you have the Page of Swords. You have the World card. Nice. I'm going to pop that right there, just because there's a light here. And you also have the Six of Pentacles. This is really interesting here with the inner peace and rejuvenation, because it does feel like this is about your inner world. Your inner world, getting your inner world in a position where you feel like you are safe, protected, and secure within yourself is how you can kind of assist with the outside world, whatever that may look like. Because we have the world here, right, right near the end of your reading, and also the Six of Pentacles, which is about giving. Like you might be taking some time for yourself, and so you can get into a position where, voice activation, you start to speak your truth, live your truth. It's going to move these down a little bit. Sorry, I got a little distracted by it. And really speaking your truth, like starting something new where you start saying, it's not like you're lying, right? You're not saying your true feelings, but there's something that needs to be brought out from within. The strong memory, while I was shuffling and bringing out the cards, I don't like to comment straight away, but it did feel like there was some history, strong memories, like remembering something from the past, which is, sometimes that's great. We can reminisce on what happened in the past, what was happening back then that can impact our now, our present. So it's bringing that into the forefront. Whatever that is, was it something that's going to help our inner child? Something that's going to bring back this kind of happiness? Was it something from our childhood that should have been nicer, but it had like, a bit of shadow, some kind of shadowy situation? If it is something from the past, I'm not saying you have to go and speak to this person to get clarity or get anything. It's more of bringing it back to letting it go with love and peace, letting it move out of you, so you can bring in this new way of being yourself, so you can feel like, it's a good time. I am going to just have a look at the now is a lucky time with the rabbit spirit. It was in the reverse, so it's usually in this book. Usually I take my own kind of interpretations of what I see, like it's luck and it's abundance, right? But it's taking a risk. So the way it's presented in the protection message is kind of perfect. So I'm going to read this to you. So it says, vulnerability is required now for you now, even if you don't feel safe. Act as if you trust, right next to the trust card, trust that you will be okay, and soon you will see that you are okay. To create is to take risk. So at this fortunate, fertile time, banish your fears and recognize the real security is in immersing yourself in the process of co-creation. It's okay to admit that you really don't know how to deal with whatever is in front of you. This is where curiosity and not knowing can be wonderful. Be playful, admitting you are at the beginning of something, and come on out and frolic in the sun's nurturing light, because it's time to birth something new. So really nice words coming from like this message when it came out in the reverse position. And I feel like it does tie into the trust. It's like trust yourself, trust and have that self-belief. If you're coming from a space in the heart, just because this is so green, I can't ignore it. If you're coming from your heart space, it's more like the truth. I'm not saying, it's not like the saying follow your heart. That can be in like emotional feelings, or a feeling that flickers in your mind or just drives your emotions. It's not that. It's more from a heart space, a loving and true space. If it's coming from there, I feel like this is where you can infuse, I guess. So once you've got it within you, then you can release it and infuse it into your life or into a situation, a relationship, whatever it is. Maybe it is just for you, and that's okay. Like this feeling of calm and inner peace. Take some time to look after yourself, cherish and devote time to yourself. This can be as small or as big as going to a spa date, or it can be just taking 5-10 minutes out of your day to go for a walk through a park, something like that, something for like go outside and just do something that is right for you, that gives you kind of some time to think and to process the day, process the feelings of the day, anything like that. Because I believe that that's how you get this sense of achievement and sense of success within your life. And this is why also is a little bit reversed, because it's going to take some coaxing and some work from within first to bring it out, to bring out that trueness of your heart's voice, let's say. Because once you help and nurture yourself, that's when you can start helping and nurturing others in your environment with the charity. It's not really charity, right? It's like giving because you've received, so now it's time to start sharing. It even talks about on here sharing your wealth with others less fortunate. So it can be, wealth doesn't have to be monetary exactly all the time, especially when it's the earth, the pentacles. It's about time, it's about energy, it's about emotions. It can be really anything that impacts your earthly life and your reality, which is, pretty much everything, right? It's everything. It's everything tangible and material and physical. What I am getting here, especially with this compass, it's like points, especially with this pointing up, right? It's like face your true north. Go with your true north. What is your real path? Because we're not talking about a journey exactly, but this is part of your journey, and it's got to come from a place where it's like making decisions when we have a lot going on in our life. We can make mistakes, or if someone comes through with like random email, normally we wouldn't get catfished or like whatever, like scammed or whatever like that, but we're just like so busy that we just click on and go, what is this about, annoyingly, and then download some kind of virus or whatever. It's making sure we're actually taking the time to center, ground, and stop and just be present in our bodies and in our environment and in our emotions and everything. The universal perspective, it's like, there's so much stuff that rushes through our minds that we can think, oh, we've got to do this. Sometimes we forget that we're just like a speck in the pond of like life in the universe. And sometimes we need to have that like real big step back global view and then realize the little things. So it's not like they don't matter. It's more like they're not all as huge as we kind of can inflate them to be sometimes. But I will say for some, there is something with like this child is just keep kind of flickering for inner child healing with the strong memory as well. There's like this key here. Angelic attunement does feel like aligning of chakras, aligning of true north, like with this arrow. But it's also a lucky time. Even though this is reversed, it's still saying it's a lucky time. It's just going to have get coaxing, and here get yourself on board with what you want to kind of bring to this situation, like this, how you can kind of bring peace to the situation. Because I feel like if you're not in a, say, mindful kind of state, or at least like in a good headspace, then dealing with the situation or dealing with the people or whatever it is can trigger certain things, and you might go out of your like, quote unquote correct self. You might go to like a place that's not true to you normally, true to your general flow and general energy. So once you're at this place, that's how you can best deal with it. The best way to deal with tricky things, it's literally part number one. It's focusing on your inner healing, inner self, even just some kind of like relaxation spa kind of treatments. It looks very humble, right? Because it's like I'm not sure, it's like a bathhouse, I guess. But it just looks very natural, lots of stone, just a lot of like healing. And that's how you can bring like abundance and happiness into your life, I feel. It's through inner work. And it doesn't have to be shadowy, it just is aligning with your true north. your focus to how you want to be seen and viewed, one from yourself, and then how you want to come across to others. But as long as you're happy with it, that's the main goal. And I feel like this these hands here, it's like that's when you can start like there's a lot of pointing up and reaching up. Even her hands in her hair, they're still like reaching out. So it's like reaching out to grab and assist and help, but also that comes like to and fro, right? That's the flow of it. It's being around the right people, assisting the people that genuinely need your assistance or whatever you can do. If we're talking about light working, just because the angelic attunement coming through, which is interesting in the shuffling. If you weren't there for a shuffling, that's okay. Archangel Ariel came through to assist with this reading. Actually chose all the decks, so it's just lining up quite nicely. And it's not about just devoting time to yourself. It's literally about cherishing it, making it impactful for you, not just to tick off another thing. It's like, oh, I have to do mindfulness. You have a list of things to do. And it's like 10 minutes. Okay, cool, did that. But were you mindful? Because there's no point putting time into yourself that's just to tick off a box. I know it's difficult in this modern age, but we have to be more mindful with every single kind of moment that we have, as much as we can, right? We're not going to be perfect. Otherwise, we wouldn't be dealing with all the stuff. If we were, we would be, who knows, doing something up here, up in this Seraphim gateway. But this is opening up for these kind of divine beings to assist with you. You have your guides, you have your ancestors, you have your, like even soul family is kind of just reminding me of that are coming in to support you with your own self-care and also your care and compassion towards others as well. Because you do have something to give. You have something to say with the voice activation. You have brilliant ideas that you want to share, and you can do that in the best way when you're in your best way. And that's exactly what I see for you today, pile number 1. So I know it was a bit of a quick one, but it really is quite clear. It's just so much trusting in yourself, working on yourself, working within. It doesn't have to be too conflicty within. It's just bringing out the best of you within so you can share in your outer world your ideas, your voice, your energy and time, and it can be in the best possible way, in the most healing way for you and for others. And I just really like this because it's like literally flourishing, right? You've got there. You've done the work. You've crossed the finish line. Now it's the rewards and everything else that comes with that. So thank you very much for being here. If you've enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any content. Otherwise, take care of yourself and I will see you in the next video. Hello, pile number 2. So today you have chosen the Tiger's Eye with luck in new ventures, willpower, creative flow, and overcoming fear. I will say for the theme of this reading, willpower and overcoming fear really did stand out when I was pulling the cards. I just leave it and I don't say too much while you're doing the Pickacard because I don't want to influence your choices. But right now you've obviously picked Tiger's Eye, so it just feels like it's something to bring up and speak to. Oh wow. Okay, so you have Birthplace of Aphrodite with Emergence. My divine flow arouses creativity. Okay. Really that that boo. I don't know what to say about that. Oof, coming out strong. Okay. So you have Find Your Center. Interestingly enough, I thought all these cards were upright, but this one is was reversed. And it's just interesting because it does talk to your your balanced state. So there might be something to kind of like adjust or like shift or just take notice of and recognize that something's out of line. Okay, so we've got Be Peace, which is so interesting because we are talking about how do we bring calm and peace to a situation, place, person, etc., event. And the Dove did come out reverse, so I'll have a look at how that, because this one does read reverse as well. You do have Arcturian light codes with evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Yeah, this recalling power is definitely something for you. Willpower, overcoming fear, and like breaking free. Even the bird just like opening in this Arcturian light code kind of card, just like the being here. Oh, it's not a being. Well, just like the symbol, it just remind me of like a person, shining. You do have emotional desert as well. This was reversed, so I'll have a look at that. Inactivity and isolation. Yeah, definitely time to start coming through. Come through. Okay, let's take a look at these cards here. So you have Temperance. You do have the Star card. And finishing off your reading, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Really interesting because generous, gracious, and practical. It's about with what you have, it's starting to ensure you've got what you need so you can start assisting with others and actually doing it in a more unique way. For some reason, but just today, this is feeling like this is a unique to you way. This is like this emergence is kind of like, you know what, I don't need to just hoard or just take, or not that you're doing that. I don't feel it's just like, I don't need to, there's like security and then there's like, up too much, like there's a lot. So where can I start donating? Where can I start giving? How can I assist? There's something within that you have, especially some kind of power, luck in new ventures. Maybe there's something you want to start to produce. I know we're talking about how do you bring peace to a situation, but it just really strongly feels like it's starting from within, like from within, this alignment of understanding what is causing this. It's not exactly inactivity and isolation. What would that say? It does feel like not seeing, it's like not seeing the potential, or maybe something hasn't come to fruition. But focusing on this when you're not there is kind of not giving you you're not helping yourself by not seeing everything else that could be. There's other things that you can work on because you will get here. But once you get there, like the time between walking down the sand dunes and whatever else pops up, right? There's more to be had. There's more to be gained, and it's not extra effort. It's more the time and space to be able to do that. Whether that's working within, bringing peace within, or whatever else it is. I'll have a look at this card though, the Dove Spirit reversed. Okay, so I am going to read the Dove Spirit to you. This is the protection message in this book because I feel like it's just touching on so many different things, and it's quite a nice message. So, however disturbed the waters around you, however troubled your heart, Dove Spirit is here to remind you that peace without begins within as you reconnect with Spirit through practices that awaken you from spiritual amnesia. Your true nature is as a peaceful child of Spirit, but how easily you forget. Become the peace you wish to see in the world so you can reduce any suffering. Performing acts of kindness and radiating love, Dove Spirit also reminds you that when you see inequality or someone harmed or in need, trust that you have the capacity to bring peace through smiling, sending love, speaking a kind word, and listening with a compassionate heart. It was quite a lot of words in there, but it's really talking about starting within so you can bring it without. That's literally the basis of the message of the dove when it is reversed. It's understanding that, yes, especially here, for some reason it's just like, yes, family, like family, people, others can kind of, whatever they do have an impact on us. Like, you can't, like, I won't lie about it. There is kind of impacts that other people bring into our space, right? But it's like, are we in line at this time? Because why is this? It's understanding, why is this impacting us? Why is this trigger? Is it something they said 10 years ago and they just keep bringing it up once a year or something like that? You have no idea. Do they even know what it is? Do you need to speak to that? Do you need to, are you giving too much power to that? Are you giving too much thought and ideas to that? It's really understanding your what's occurring within, what's occurring in the outside world, and how it's impacting you. Because it's building willpower. You've already gone through that. It doesn't have to be who you are. The past doesn't have to be who you are. And so it's really interesting. It's like this overcoming fear is coming through a little bit, but it's more about speaking to this, or even to understand and recall the power. Because when we recall it, we bring it back in. We feel strong and powerful, but that can be kind of scary, right? Because we don't want to get into our ego either, but we do need it to embrace and be there and be open to the possibilities of whatever else comes through in our lives. So how can you exactly bring peace and calm into this? It's understanding how you feel. It's not just thinking about it and leaving it. It's really understanding the root causes of certain triggers. There's triggers, but there's also like how you honestly feel about particular people and situations. Because temperance is all about blending, and then we've got the star here. Great cards, right? They're all about hope here, and like ideas and where we want to head to. And that is the recalling is to bring that back in, so we can get the temperance card kind of within, and where we want to be and how we want to feel and why we feel. Because if we focus on other people and other people's energies, let's say, we forget that what's really assisting us, or what's really powering us up. Are we feeling things that are other people's processes to feel? We can't save everyone, right? We can't help everyone at every single moment. They're also their own person to help themselves, and we have to also listen to that advice and help ourselves over the time. So even the last little message here is, when was the last time I checked in with myself? Because this will bring this emergence, this feeling of like, oh, I understand my emotions. These emotions aren't something that's weighing me down now. This is something that I can work with and use and like remember, oh, you know what, I've been through this. I went through XYZ with this person. I managed to survive this event, right? Whatever that might be. It could be all sorts of different things for everyone. It's all individual. But it's like rising above it and remembering those emotions, but in a way that supports and helps us through life, not something that drowns us under the sea. Now, I also feel like part number 2, just this dove has this little crown on. It's almost like you have to be the one that steps up. You have to be the one that it's not like you have to control. It's more like you have to be the one that regains, takes in the power, recalls your own energy, so you can flourish, right? Get back to the true you in this present moment, and also not like have to deal with this. Like, I just feel like this is some sort of family situation. It's not necessarily like negative, but it's impacting you in some sense. So it's not like you have to talk to it, but I feel like you're going to have to be the one that like rises above the situation, and however you see fit. You know, free will. You got to do it in the way that works for you. I feel like if you're in your best state and of mind, emotions, and like heart, then that's where you can do this in a most true to you way. What's true to the real you at this moment in time. I feel like also, even though this is a little bit different to what I kind of see for some people with emotional desert, I feel like there's 2 kind of parts to it. It's also a time of like, for some of you it's like not focusing on the present moment. And then for some of you, it's a time of great energy. Like the tiger's eye, this almost feels like a motor center as well. There's a lot of energy that can be used to start embracing and emerging and saying, removing this kind of any negative energy from your life and start focusing on your future, your dreams, whatever you're reaching towards, whatever kind of abundance you want to create and move and bring into your life. It's almost like the way you can bring peace to a situation or life is just focusing on your true life goals, like your true life goals. You bring peace within so you can focus on your true life goals. And from time to time, be thankful and gracious for the time you have to be able to check in within, because when you can check within, you get to really see who you are and what's impacting you and where you are, and whatever else is coming into your life and whatever's around you. It's all about being present in the present moment. This evolutionary download is really interesting too, because it's almost like a change. It's almost like something switched and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for it now. It's time. It's my time. Especially with that extra energy from, even though it's like an emotional desert, right? There's still an oasis here. And so I'm just feeling like for some, you are at the oasis point now. You've been through this kind of desert or the difficulties or the challenge, the hot days. So now it's like powered up to continue with whatever you want to work towards. And that's how you can bring peace in. It's like inner peace. It's inner peace to your own body, your own mind, and this future thinking. Especially with this is about creating what you want to see by remembering what you've been through to get here, but not in a way that stops you, but in a way that energizes you and you boosts you up. Like that's why this is emotional desert has kind of come through, like this push or this energy to prop you up and get you out of this thinking and into acting. Okay, and that's exactly what I see for you today, pile number 2. So thank you very much for being here. If you've enjoyed, give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any content. Otherwise, take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 3. So today you have chosen water, which is interesting because this one came out in the last pick a pile I did with this card, with this deck, sorry. So you've got emotional, intuition, psychic power, and healing. Okay, let's take a look at your cards today. So you have intention, Lady of the Lake. I conjure magic. I really like this because it's so much water. I mean, this is the Water Temple Oracle cards, so of course there's going to be water, but it's just like flows so nicely with this. Oh wow, you have nature. You have this one card, time for a deep dive. Now this did come out reverse, which just makes me feel like it's really that it's really deep, like it's time to go within. So we'll see why this has come through as well. So again, another like water creature, right? You also have the Akashic Gateway, aligned with purpose, crossroad, and no wrong path. Really interesting, just because the Akashic is like, the center of all knowledge, right? All the things that you've gone through in past lives, this life. So the records of everything, really. That's the idea of it. And so this deep dive does really feel like it's, going deeper than what you can see or even feel yourself. It's like past stuff. Okay, and you also have the Goddess of Dreams with vision, intuition, and receptivity. Very deep. Maybe you are going into your dreams. It's like really deep. It's very natural though. Like this nature card is like, it's very grounded. It's not going off into space. It's going deep within. Okay, so very interesting. We'll see how this can assist with helping the situation or bringing calm and peace to a situation. Looks to me, it's like connecting with yourself, your desires, but going in with intention, right? Going deep dive within with intention. So maybe this is about an ex or relationship or past relationship, something like that. It's just feeling very that. Okay, you have the Queen of Wands. Very good. Just this kind of knowing who she is, strong, energetic kind of power. but like unapologetically kind of herself, right? Almost like she doesn't really care what you think about it. You also have the Age of Pentacles, so this is about the work that you put in. This is interesting because it does feel like connection, right? This relationship does feel like the connections you have. So potentially a past connection, which makes sense why there would be emotional and healing in water, right? Of course. And to finish off your reading, you have the Queen of Air, which is the Queen of Swords. I'm going to read some of these. So it's got brilliant, experienced, humorous, and judgmental. Releasing situations or people that no longer serve you. I feel like that's exactly what this is about. It's kind of like a person or place or situation, but it's past, right? It feels like it's already past and finished. So how do you go and work through this, right? How do you work through this? It's really saying go within, go deep dive within, not to the surface, like duck underwater and just have a taste or place. Do it when you feel at peace, right? Do it when you know it's the right time to start doing this. Maybe you can even do it in dream time. I'm not too sure. For some of you that are spiritual, you might already have dreams about this. Maybe you can set up a meeting if that's really what you want to do with this past lover or past person. Maybe it's even family that you want to speak to, something like that. This is just coming through, and normally I don't talk about like that kind of stuff, but it's just so clear here that that may be something that you do, is organize this. You can ask your angel guides to speak with their angel guides, and they can have some kind of meeting, communication, or at least just bring some kind of information back to you. You might not get it like, they fly down and just start chatting, of course. I mean, like sometimes it will just come through into your mind and you'll be like, oh, okay, maybe this was this. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to take it, understand it as much as I can, and then release whatever doesn't serve me. But it's about cutting cords and cutting ties and getting back into this, queen energy, I guess. It doesn't matter about gender. It's about feeling like it's like they don't care what other people think. But they're not being themselves to say, I don't care what other people think. They're just being themselves. It's just like natural. It's just flow. It's fluid. That's just exactly who they are. This is it. They're presenting who they are. Okay, so with the Swan spirit here, it is talking about deep dive, right? It's also about being selective. It's about understanding, having a look at a real, honest, clear look at a situation of where you've put your love and support into, and understanding what you got in return. Where were the learnings? Where were the red flags? Where was the whatever. Be honest about the situation, not just what you think occurred, but what actually occurred. What was what's the true? You know what I mean? What's the truth? What's the real truth of it all? And once you've got that, once you've got that kind of answer, that can be what can support, as long as it's used in or worked within like a loving, supportive way for you and others, then you know that you can move forward or move through. But really do it when you're at a space, when you have the space and time to start trusting this. But intuition is very strong here. Really trusting your intuition with this deep dive and putting your intentions in there. It's not to get back at anyone. It's just to get smooth clarity in your mind. I don't mean smooth mind. I mean clearing the fog is what I more meant. Like clarity, like clearing the fog of confusion. So it looks like it does feel like it will take some work, right? It will take some honest, intensive work, like thought patterns. I mean, it'll take some time, and it's not about a rush. It's about the process of understanding each point, each section, and each area with this situation. It does feel like it's something. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but it just keeps coming back to that, and the Swan is kind of reminding me of that as well. A really mindful time to understand your feelings and thoughts as well. But like it says here, aligned with purpose, like be true to your intentions of what you are trying to do and trying to get from working this and bringing peace to the situation, because it's like peace of mind, really. because this is the goal, is to be proud and happy with yourself and how you've come along in this journey. It's not about anyone else's thoughts or feelings, it's about you, your thoughts and feelings. No wrong path. Whatever road you take and how you work through this, one, of course, it's up to you, you have free will, but there's no wrong path. It's all learning. Each path is a different learning, right? You can always come back to this crossroads and try a different one, or come back and when you have enough, and then you can move through it however that works for you. Because it's really, all of these cards really are about how you feel and how you feel about yourself, and then how you feel about any situations, understanding triggers and the learnings from the challenges. But it's all about how you feel. And it's okay, because we have to start from within before we can focus on the outside. I will say here with the like little cupcakes and candles and stuff, be kind to yourself with this. Take some time. If you need to go out in nature, just remember, be present in each moment, and then go into like your higher, let's say, realms, I guess, and your thoughts and your feelings, like at the upper chakras, let's say, because that's how you can best work through this, to get to this feeling of being able to cut away with love, like cut the old ties with love. If it's, this is an example, if it's like an ex and you no longer see each other anymore, but there's still kind of hard feelings, and you want to know, do they feel bad about this? Do they feel bad about this? What are they doing with this? It's like, it doesn't matter. Does it really matter? It's more important about how you feel and think about this. And once you open up and release that, not easy, right? It's a challenge. But once that's released, then you can start focusing on you and where you want to see yourself and how you want to move, and what you want to bring into your life, instead of focusing on something that's no longer there. And that's exactly what I see for you today, pile number 3. So thank you very much for being here today. A really nice reading. You have strong intuition. You're like, you might even be an empath or something. You have strong senses. So that's why I was talking about the dream going within. But it's really up to you how you want to move through this. Of course, how you work through it is personal to you. But just know that there's no wrong path. You can't do this wrong. By stepping forward, you're always stepping, right? You're taking that leap. By staying, you're, unless you're in the most perfect spot at the plateau of life, and then, you can stay. But there's always learning to be had by going within and understanding, but just do it in the safest and most true to you way that you can. And then cut away those old ties. Okay, thank you for very, very much for being here today. If you've enjoyed, give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any content. Otherwise, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hello, pile number 4. So today, you have chosen the Moonstone. This has a message of female fertility, calming emotion, attracting love, new love, and growth. Okay, so we're trying to bring calm to a situation, person, people, however that comes through. So this one also has a couple more cards from the Spirit Messages deck. Okay, so your first card is Goddess Dewi Sri with fertility. I embrace wisdom, joy, and prosperity. All right, this feels very mindful, especially here with calming emotions. You also have soul power. Very nice. I did see this card when I was shuffling. It just came to mind, and I was wondering if it was going to come out today, and here we go. You also have let go. So very interesting. Okay, I feel like I'm almost going to change the title of this. It seems like it's all talking about inner peace, inner calm. Which makes sense, right? We have to have inner calm before we can worry or start changing the outside world. Unless we're in such a toxic environment, then we have to get out of there, right? We have to let go and just get out. But this is more feeling like working from within so we can deal with the outside world. You also have Bee Spirit with sweet results await. Really cute. It also was in reverse, so there is like kind of a different meaning. I'll have a look at that. You also have Lemurian light codes, or Lemurian seed codes, embracing sensitivity, uniqueness, living with grace. There's so much like, I don't know, it's almost like grandeur, but it's not that. It's more like, I guess it's this, it's like it says feminine fertility, but it's like softer side, like not exactly fertility, but just like the peace and the, I don't know what to say, but it's like just really sweet and flowy kind of vibes. Okay, and you also have Healing Heart with love, acceptance, and romance. This was reversed as well, so I'll take a look at that too. It's really about the power of your soul, like know that you have like a strong soul that can get through what you've gone through, and you've got to here today, and it's all been growth. You have the Three of Pentacles. Really interesting because it's like the Three of Pentacles is about support and working with others, right? But this does feel like a lot of stability. You also have the Knight of Swords. Okay. And finishing off, you have the Hermit card. So what do I see for you exactly, pile number 4? With this bee spirit centering your reading and being in reverse, it's kind of like, do you need some time to process something from within, knowing that one, you have a strong soul, but something to let go. And with being right next to the Healing Heart, especially reversed, sometimes it can feel like feelings of something emotional feelings, right? A disappointment or just pure plain sadness, right? From something from the past, whether it's in regards to a situation, other people. How do you bring peace to a like situation, other people, right? It's just understanding how it impacts you and how you feel about it. So this could have been something from a long time ago, like an old relationship, or it could be something more recent. It's like embrace those feelings, embrace that sensitivity, the female fertility, understand your emotions. Like, yes, it's calming them, like to bring, like that's the kind of end result is to understand them, but really feel them. Because that's how you, once they're calm, you can feel confident to release and let go of this. This fertility and female fertility is popping up too. It does feel like it's like feminine energy, but it's also about what reaping what you sow. So it's like what you plant in, what you want to start growing in certain ways with the growth. Mentioning here, it's like how, whether that's like security or stability in many different areas of like relationships, work, feelings, emotions. Here, just talking about other people, how you react and feel confident with other people. Embrace your uniqueness here, this Lemurian sea codes. It's kind of like this understanding of your outer world by understanding and working your inner world. Especially here with the Hermit card and Raziel. Raziel's like he knows all the secrets of God, right? I'm pretty sure his name means secrets of God, something like that. But he knows a lot, and that's the whole point of the Hermit, is like going within to understand, and then bring that into your outer world, and literally going with it. So this is like a step by step almost. It's like Hermit, so you can understand who you are and focus your intentions on clearing this from your energy field, or even to go forward and do what you feel you've always wanted to do, or what you feel like has changed and you want to start exploring, whether that's an idea or just an event or something, something new. The whole purpose of doing inner work and even beautifying our environment is to bring us to a place where we're happy and we can start working towards what we want, our goals and our dreams. It might be attracting new love, and you've gone through many different situations in the past that help with learning what you expect from others and what you expect from yourself, and how to respect yourself and respect others. There's all sorts of learning. And that's all about soul growth as well. This growth is soul growth. It's all important to your entire soul's growth throughout this lifetime. So the letting go it's like an honest letting go. It's not just like, I'm over this and I'm moving on. It's really like understanding why it hurt, why it felt like this. What did you expect from this kind of situation? What were the red flags? What were the things that were good times? Like, understanding all that will help you see the sweet results, getting the sweet results to be able to releasing, so you can start moving towards alignment and what you really want to bring into your life in the future. Because the past doesn't have to control our future. It doesn't control our future unless we give it power. But if it's really impacting us, then we need to start looking at, how can I let this go? What is the root cause of this? Why do I feel like this? Really understanding that. Was it a situation with family? Was it a relationship? Was it a situation that didn't feel right? Maybe something happened and it's like, oh, this makes sense. Why didn't I pick that up? We can't see everything, and it's not our fault that people are dishonest or that do something that's not within what our expectations were. But we always have a responsibility to ourselves to understand that, so that we can move through it and move to something better and more true to us. With love. It's not to fire us up and be angry. It's to move on and be happy with our prospects of the future and where we are in our present moment. The moonstones just also remind me of the moon, like reflecting on it, understanding it, and then releasing and moving on to sweeter and better things, right? Because if we stay too much in the hermit, give yourself time to hermit, of course, to understand this. But if we stay too much in the hermit, we end up isolating ourselves, which doesn't help us, as well as it doesn't help, others as well, that we could be kind of engaging and sharing our wealth of knowledge and feelings and our emotions and our powers and our skills, etc., etc. There's so much growth that can come from this. There's so much potential, I feel, with these two cards especially, and even this, actually, no, all of them. There's just so much potential. There's the hermit, which is not about moving, it's about understanding. And then the knight is about moving. So it's just there's so much here that can be looked into. Because the hermit and these four cards here are all about understanding, so we can get to this point of letting go. And we understand our growth, right? This is all about growth of our soul, but also about understanding how we feel and our uniqueness, right? Our uniqueness, and being, living with grace is doing it in a gracious way. We don't have to be doing it in a way that's not true to us. We can do it in our own unique way, right? We can look up how other people deal with things online or whatever, or how people talk to us, or even how I might explain things. That's just one opinion. There's so many different ways you can process things. Might be quicker, might be slower, but it's got to be true to you. And for you, pile number 4, that's exactly what I see. I know it was a very quick one, but it does feel like there's sweet results from this sweetness and the kind of sourness. You've gone through it. We can feel that with this kind of calming emotions and feelings, but we don't want to release when we haven't understood why things are impacting us and why it is. So maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was that was linked to this, with it was linked to this, that was linked to this, keep going through the grapevine of what is the root cause, or even just cutting away that and being look, I'm focusing on this, I understand this, that's not for me to focus on now. I release that with love, and then when you're in a better place or when you feel confident, you can look at all the other stuff. But you don't have to look at it if it's not impacting your life now. But that's what I see, and thank you very much for being here today, pile number 4. Hope this has helped you with whatever you're going through at the moment. But if you've enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any content. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading.